UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast, here on the United Federation of Podcast Networks. I'm your host for today, Thad, and joining me are my co-hosts, Chrissy and Brandon. How do we feel about 4 plus 5 equals 9?
That's bad math, Thad. That's not right at all. 2 plus 2 equals 3.
I thought it was 1 plus 1 equals 3.
That's for large
that's
values
acceptable
of 1.
too. Let's go talk to these aliens and see what they think of us.
Yeah.
Look, I just wanted to say, guys, when a Knight's Prey Dove is singing, there is only one way to let the Taja spat.
Obviously.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
No
okay.
idea.
But once the thing is stuck to the thing, it has to be shoved off. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It won't leave unless it's shoved.
I don't know. More Discovery, weird, bizarre, nonsense lines.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. It could have been that episode when we got like 900 references in one episode.
I know it.
I did too. I just didn't like those weird, bizarre 900 references.
All right.
Anywho, this is not a what is the term? A window into things to come or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, on a better question, how are you both
Fantastic.
today?
I'm a little sick, so guys, if my voice sounds a little funny, or if you hear some sniffling or whatnot, I apologize. I've just got a nasty cold that rampaged through the house. We rapid tested, and nobody's positive for COVID or anything, but
Well, that's good.
it's cold. This cold just plowed through our house.
Yeah, it's that time of year. And yeah, so you had the 4 plus 5 equals 9. I was going to say that my midterm grading is doing okay, but while I'm used to having to sometimes figure out what my students are saying, I have this really strange one that's just some lights and it smells funny. So I don't know what to do with that. Anyway.
It might work better if you were a math teacher.
Yeah. Send it over to Amy.
There you go. All right. Before we jump into our topic for today, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make our show possible, particularly our associate producers, Justin Oser and David Willett. Listeners, we'd love to add your name to this list, and we can do that with your monthly subscription of just $10 at patreon.com/UFPEarth. All right. So, in Star Trek news, we finally, for real, and not in a way that can get us sued, got the Strange New Worlds trailer.
Indeed.
How are we feeling about Anson Mount's beard?
This Anson Mount beard looks better than the Anson Mount beard in Hell on Wheels.
I agree.
I was kind of disappointed to see at the end he'd shaved. I mean, I know we've always seen Pike clean shaven, but I don't know, Spock with a beard, Pike with a beard, it just works. But yeah, I am super excited about this, and I love the interaction of 23rd century technology with earlier tech. The communicator sitting next to the phone, the old black phone, and I can't remember, was it a rotary or a push button? But it was one of those old black heavy phones from like the 60s. It's beautiful. And then, of course, I was very happy to see windmills around when he was riding his horse to wherever he was going, because sustainable energy is a good thing.
Yes. I found it very interesting. I'll admit, I need to watch it again, because I like, when it came out, I was working, so I like quick watched it, but then I haven't watched it since, and I don't remember a phone at all, so I need to watch this again.
It's just real quick. When he goes to pick up his communicator, it's sitting next to a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I didn't notice the phone. I didn't want to sound stupid.
I mean, once I saw Anson Mount's beard, like, everything else just didn't matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know I didn't dream that because TrekCore was talking about it.
Okay. So, I don't know. Like, I'm excited for this show. This trailer didn't really do much for me because it literally dropped 15 minutes after the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, which literally gave me chills, okay? Like,
oh, man,
I was still shivering from the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer when I watched this. So, I don't know. Like, I am absolutely excited for Strange New Worlds. There was nothing in the trailer that turned me off. Obi-Wan Kenobi's trailer was just 10 times better, that's all. I mean, it was beautiful, right? I'm loving seeing the snow. I thought it was fascinating to see the wind power. The old-style shuttlecraft coming in and swooping in was beautiful, okay? So I have watched it a couple of times, but it just didn't get me excited, right? I mean, like, when we had the first Picard trailer, I'm like, for season 2, I'm like, I am all in. This is the greatest thing ever. And then we got that second one, and I'm like, I don't know. The first one had me way more excited. I mean, I'm still excited for the show, but the second trailer did nothing for me. But I don't know. I'm still excited for the show. It's going to be, it's super, super exciting, and it's depending on how the season goes as to which I'm going to watch first. The Picard finale or the Strange New Worlds premiere, right? So, yeah.
I mean, I know regardless, unless they really drop the ball in Picard, I'm definitely going to be watching the Picard finale first. Yeah.
I'm just so I love the TOS era so much. I just love those 22nd century designs, you know, the smooth corners and that black highlights, you know, like I'm all in for it. So getting
23rd.
Oh, I'm sorry, 23rd century. Okay. You know what I meant.
22nd is good too. They have pockets.
Yeah, they had pockets and zippers. So, but I don't know. I love this, and I love the reference. Like, that shuttlecraft looked like the shuttlecraft that we saw in the Menagerie 1 and 2, right? Like, that looks like the Galileo 7. And I'm like, yes, Starship porn. I love it, right? Like, I'm all in for it. So,
there's going to be some people on the internet who are going to be complaining that the Enterprise doesn't get shuttles until partway through season 1 of TOS.
That doesn't say that's the Enterprise's shuttle. And like,
you
know, so.
And I don't know if there are. I just expect someone to complain about that.
You know what? Like, I get it. I do. Okay. I'm not particularly here for that right now at this point. I may get there, but I'm just waiting until I see the show before I start bitching about it. So, you know, like, if it's bad, I'll bitch about it, okay? I'm not going into it wanting to bitch about it. I'm wanting to go into it, and I want Strange New World to be the greatest Star Trek show ever. I'm not going to crap on it until they give me a reason to crap on it. And that trailer was definitely not a reason to crap on it. I am excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited too. Yeah. I mean, I've been excited for it since before they announced that it existed.
Yeah.
Did
you sign the petition, Thad?
I think I did, actually.
There was a Strange New Worlds Get a Captain Pike show.
Not that it did any good, but yes, I was one of those people that was very much pushing for the Pike series before it was ever announced.
Why do you hate Discovery? Why do you want a Pike show more than you like Discovery?
Star Trek is not a zero-sum game.
This is true.
Except the episode Zero-Sum Game. That one is.
Yes. Wasn't that a book? That's a book.
It is.
Yeah. You're right. That is a book. Never mind. That was a DS9 novel.
Your point still stands. It's good.
Yes. It was a good book. But yeah, no, I love Discovery. I love Strange New Worlds. They can both coexist.
Yes, they can.
Infinite Star Trek shows and infinite combinations. Yes. That seems to be what Paramount's trying to do. So yeah, no, I am all in on Discovery. I agree, I am, but also Strange New Worlds. But what I really, I'm with you, Brendan. That Kenobi trailer definitely has me excited for that. And Ewan McGregor might have a better beard than Ensign Mount.
Yeah, maybe. I'd have to see them side by side. I will say that both of the trailers came up, was about an hour before I went into class. So at the end of my class, I left an extra few minutes and I was like, okay, pop culture time. Do you want to watch the Star Wars trailer or the Star Trek trailer? And I was disappointed that they all wanted to watch the Star Wars trailer, even though it is really cool and I want to see it. And I'm excited for this, but I was like, come on.
That was a foregone conclusion, though.
It was.
Sadly, Star 100%. Trek is always going to be the underdog in that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was actually at the fabric store yesterday buying some stuff for an outfit, actually, because I'm going to a wedding next week and I'm wearing a Starfleet dress uniform to it.
Love it.
But while I was there, I noticed they had an entire section of Star Wars fabric.
Oh, yeah.
And they do not have any Star Trek fabric. It was sad.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Because I would absolutely, like, if they had, like, Star Trek fabric with, like, little, like, Spocks on them or something, I would absolutely buy that and make a button-down shirt or something. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
I just want to point out, just in case you guys don't quite realize it, okay? Just hold your horses for 1 second. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
In 8 weeks, we will be talking about Strange New Worlds.
Yay!
that's true.
But before then, we have some Discovery.
I'm also crossing my fingers that maybe, just maybe, they'll give us a preview of it in Chicago.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
I hope not, because then I'll be mad at you and hate you forever.
Because they did that with Prodigy at Destination London last year. So
Okay.
I'm crossing my fingers. I think that'll be awesome. If they do it, obviously it'll be awesome. But I'm hoping. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that actually she was the last credited actor in The Cage. There's still one uncredited actor, Sandra Lee Gimple, who played a Telosian, who is still alive, but that is the only person left who was in The Cage that is still alive at this point.
Wow.
It's funny, you were talking just last week, Brandon, about how we're at the point where we're seeing a lot of these TOS actors pass away, and it's unfortunate that we're already getting another one a week later.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on a slightly less somber note, let's talk about Star Trek Discovery. So this week, it's called the 10C, and we finally get to meet the 10C.
Sort of.
Oh, come on.
They're hidden behind some clouds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but it's certainly less of a tease than we've had for the past, 5 or 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're right. I'll go with my thoughts and first impression on this one too. So as I was saying, my jokes at the beginning did not indicate how I felt about the episode. I love this episode. I thought the episode was fantastic. I don't think it's a perfect episode, but the first contact stuff is that whole section of the episode is some of the best Star Trek ever. It was absolutely amazing. I really feel like the Booker plot and the Tarka plot is dragging this episode down. But that stuff wasn't terrible. It was just expected, it was just expected. I mean, I know what we're going to get next week. I'm sure is that, Book and Reno are going to save the day and the first contact will go through just fine. And that's what's going to happen. I mean, way back at episode 7, when we hit the mid-season break, I'm like, Book's going to work with him for a while until he finds out it's really bad. And then they're going to have to turn and fight each other and whatnot. And that's what we got in this episode, So I've been expecting this since episode 7. But it was still good. There was a lot of really good stuff. I'm really glad it was Reno. That was unexpected. Because I was expecting it to be Burnham to be talking to him. So, this has honestly been my favorite Reno episode. I haven't really liked Reno. So I liked that aspect of it, but it just wasn't as good as that first contact stuff, which was just spot on 5 stars for that stuff all the way. So,
Yeah, I liked that that whole thing of the first contact too. I mean, I don't know if there is a more Trek idea than here's some people we can't talk to. yes, we have tech that we normally use, but we can't use it this time. So we have to bring everything down to the most basic of things that sentient life forms comprehend. And so we're going to start with the universal language of math.
Yeah.
And that's just beautiful.
That's
and
the
emotion.
Power of math,
math and emotion. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I sent that GIF out all over.
Okay, good.
And this doesn't get more sci-fi than what we got this week in Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
It is just a very almost quintessential sci-fi thing of communicating with the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is what I want. Like, I don't know if I believe if there's aliens out there. I did when I was younger. I don't know if I do anymore. I hope there is. I hope there's more out there in the universe, and I hope to see if there is in my lifetime. I hope to get a definitive answer in my lifetime. Will that happen? I don't know. But this is what I expect it to be. This is what I expect communication to be. Mm-hmm. So,
you mean it's not going to be people with bumps in their foreheads?
It could be. Who knows? Could be. With those first time we talk to people with bumps on their foreheads, it's going to be just like this, I think. So.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't definitively believe in aliens, but I believe that there's a strong possibility that they would exist. Mm-hmm. It seems improbable that in the entire vastness of the universe we're the only ones.
Yes. Absolutely.
But yeah, I agree. I loved this episode. I was very excited to be going through a Discovery episode where I was just enjoying it the whole time. Because while I have definitely enjoyed a lot of aspects of the last several episodes, the fact that they were all building to this and felt like they were treading water made it a little less enjoyable. So it was nice to actually be going somewhere again.
Yeah, I think that we could do a fan edit of this season and get it down to 10 episodes, and it would be one of the best seasons of Star Trek ever, I think.
And even in 13, if you're watching them all in one go, I think it'll work just fine. It's when we've been doing it weekly, and then we have the several week gap in the middle too. I think that really affects that.
This is the first time I've felt that way with Star Trek, where I was just like, okay, get on, like with the new Star Trek, I guess, where I was just like, okay, get on with it. You know, in 4 seasons of Discovery, 1 season of Picard, 2 seasons of Lower Decks, you know, this is the first time where I've just been like, okay, come on, you're stalling, get on with it. This is the first time I felt that way.
Yeah, it's interesting because in a lot of ways, season 2 and 3 of Discovery did a very similar thing with the Red Angel and then with the Burn, but it didn't quite feel like they were treading water the same way this one does.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably because they did some other things in seasons 2 and 3 of Discovery. Like in season 3 of Discovery, we had the 2-part Mirror Universe episode, and in season 2 we had all the stuff with Talos 4 and all that. So I think that made a difference.
Yeah. You weren't with us, Thad. Like the 2-part Mirror Universe, as much as I love those episodes and think they're fantastic, I don't think they should have been in the season. I think that should be the pilot for the Georgiou show, those 2 episodes, you know, but like they were wonderful, but they just it felt like a strange derailment near the end, like 2/3 of the way through the season. So
my only real issue with the Mirror Universe episodes was the guy who was clearly supposed to be Jason Isaacs, but they couldn't get Jason Isaacs.
Which guy's that? Because I didn't remember that at all.
In the second part, when they're going after that one rebel guy in the shuttle and they beam him up, and then they're like, "Oh yeah," like that was clearly because they dropped Lorca's name like 10 times. That was clearly supposed to be Lorca, but they couldn't, for whatever reason, they weren't able to bring Jason Isaacs into film, so they just made it some random guy instead.
Okay.
I did not catch that. That's cool.
I mean, I don't think anyone has specifically said that. It's just that was how I read it.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, in Discovery, we finally get to approach the hyperfield here, and we see everything. I liked what they did with the dots, where they're having the dots send out the pheromone. I thought it was a little interesting that Stamets had to manually do it for each one. Like, I feel like, aren't the dots sort of semi-intelligent, or couldn't they have done it themselves?
See, that's an interesting question about the dots, because they were for those episodes because Zora downloaded herself into them. So, like, I kind of brought this up a little while ago. It's like, is he yelling at a part of Zora? Maybe they're just robots now that Zora's out of them and in the ship? I don't know.
I think that's the case.
Maybe, but, like, isn't Zora controlling them still? Like, even if she's not in them directly, aren't they, like, an extension of Zora?
They could
Possibly.
be, I guess, but...
She wants to use them that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Either way, it was a cool usage for them to send them all out and do the peace pheromone.
Yes. The thing about Stamets loading them, I guess, or however you want to put it, if an exocomp was sophisticated enough to have a replicator on its nose, then they couldn't have told the dots to replicate this thing. And
that is something I didn't even consider, but yeah, you'd think they would have little replicators in them.
Well, these dots are technology from the 22nd century.
I mean,
okay, I suppose
23rd again, but
that's
yes,
23rd. Yes, sorry.
But
I get my centuries confused, just
if
like
the
my time
whole
zones.
ship-
I can't convert to centuries. I can't convert time zones. I'm sorry, guys.
If the whole ship has been upgraded, like they've got the detached nacelles now and everything else, like surely the dots can also be upgraded.
All that they did was put an A on the dots, right? So that nobody knew these were past dots, okay? I want to know, okay, so I'm super curious as to how they were able to determine what each of these 16 emotions meant.
I was wondering that,
Did they just get,
they get very detailed.
Did they just get, like, 16 volunteers, throw them in a word, and throw them in a room and say, sniff this?
Yeah.
Like...
How do you feel?
That's probably what they did, honestly, is,
How do you
if
feel?
enough people all feel
How do you
peaceful
feel?
after sniffing this, then that's what it must be.
How do you feel?
I don't understand the question.
I'm just imagining, like, the Enterprise decon chamber where they're just pushing in the...
Now
So
smell
they're-
this.
They're just all in their underwear and they're, like, rubbing peaceful on them.
rubbing pheromones on each other.
Okay, rub angry on me. Rub some angry all over me. Oh, dear Lord.
Okay, well, when the inevitable porn parody comes out of that, we want some money from it, because there was the idea.
I don't think they
Is there
needed
a
us.
Discovery porn parody? Surely there is one already.
Oh, I'm sure. I just, that particular...
Right,
You know?
yeah. All right, so, yes. Yeah, because some of those emotions are very specific. Like,
Yes. I didn't compile a list, but I was just like, how did they determine that? I mean, like, when they were on the planet, what was it, last week or the week before, whatever it was,
last week.
they're like, okay, we felt this way when we touched this one. We felt this way when we touched this one here. And it's like, that's how they determined what it meant. So.
Yeah, like happy, sad, loved, angry, those I get. Curiosity, I was kind of like...
Yeah. You're just like,
I mean,
I
that's
don't
cool,
even
but I
know
never
if
thought
I
of...
can describe what curiosity feels like.
I want to know what it
I
smells
never thought
like.
of it...
Maybe it smells like a dead cat.
Oh,
Jeez.
God.
Okay, that was darker than I did.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Right. No, I never thought of that as an emotional state. I just thought of that as an intellectual state. So that's an interesting thing, too.
Talking about this, though, and how they did it on there. Okay, so I watched this episode twice, but my first time watching this, when they got a reaction from dropping the scent on the thing, and everybody started freaking out, I'm like, why are you guys freaking out? This is exactly what you wanted to happen. Like, the music was like danger and action and suspense and whatnot, and I'm like, you're trying to run away. What are you, knock-knock gingering on this guy? Like Nicky 9-dooring this alien? You're going to run away? This is exactly what you wanted to happen. You got an answer out of him.
I'm confused at the way Canadians describe Ding Dong Ditch now, because Did you say knock knock?
Knock Knock Ginger. I have no
Knock
idea.
Knock Ginger?
Yeah, and Nicky Nicky Nine Door. That's another one.
Nicky Nicky Nine Door I've heard, because isn't that in that Adam Sandler movie where he's like the devil's son or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe,
Little Nicky?
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw that one time and tried to purge it from my memory.
As did I, but you know how that can be.
Yeah. That's also what we do when we beat up redheads. We call it Knock Knock Ginger.
Jesus.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a joke about the Weasleys, and I just wasn't quick enough.
Okay. Yeah. I know that as ding dong ditching. Or ding dong dash.
Ding dong dash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's Ginger?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay. But so my thought on that was, yes, they should have expected a reaction, but at the same time, I don't think they were expecting it to, like, eat them.
It did kind of eat them, you're right.
Well, it's the abyss. It's the abyss. The water
Oh yeah,
tentacle
no,
comes out at them, right?
I actually notated that when I'm watching them, like, this is like the abyss, because it looked just like that effect in the abyss when it reaches out.
Yeah, I was just very confused when that like action sequence happened. I'm like, because in like this is making me think a lot of Star Trek the motion picture while I'm watching this, right? And in Star Trek the motion picture, they're like, okay, send the thing now, and then they're like talking, and then the door opens, and then they get pulled in by the tractor beam, and they're all like, it's very calm and peaceful, and we're going along with it and fly along with them. And this, it's like, ding dong, holy shit, run!
Whoa.
So
yeah.
I don't know. It's just bizarre.
It didn't make sense to me that Burnham didn't say, "Hey, wait, this is what we're trying to do." I understand maybe everybody else, or almost everybody else, kind of freaking out, but her calling for a red alert with that,
or even the president saying, "Calm down," because she's the experienced negotiator too, right?
Yeah,
it's just saying, "This is what we wanted, guys. This is why we're here." So
we needed math guy on the bridge.
Yeah, he would have been
no
excited.
Snacks.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten his name again.
So have I. That's why.
Does it start with an H?
But yeah, anyways, it's just, he could have been on the bridge and whatnot. But
Is it Harai?
Yes.
Harai, okay. See, I didn't have the right letter on the first name. I'm bad with names as it is, though. You should hear me. When Zach and I do franchise fatigue, we just call people, like, because we seem to have a lot of movies where they have actors that were in Star Trek, and so we just call them by their Star Trek character names. So
honestly, that's one of the things I enjoy when I listen to franchise fatigue, is hearing that. All right, so at the same time, when Stamets is loading up those dots with the pheromone, this is when Zora also discovers that something is off, which we as the audience knows it's because of the stuff that Book and Tarka have done. It bugs me that it took them so long to notice that Reno was missing, even with the communicator saying that she was in engineering. Especially when Stamets says he's been looking for her all day.
Yeah.
Like, so did he not ask the computer where she was and then be like, well, I'm in engineering and she's not here?
Yeah, this is one of the aspects where I'm like, this is one of the things that it didn't make this all perfect episode all the way around. Because, yeah, this one was kind of derailing the episode as well by, like, pulling it down, like playing the game and whatnot with Zora, and taking the time to do this with Zora, and having Culber just be like, now I'm an investigator, and I'm going to go and figure out what's going on here, and we're going to go down to engineering, and we're going to...
No, I can understand Zora not understanding what's going on, because she was deliberately tampered with. I can understand them taking that long to figure out that it's because it's related to Reno. What I don't get is that no one else had looked for Reno until they did.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, yeah.
We brought that up, Jay brought that up when we were watching it, and I was like, well, if she was kidnapped close to the end of her shift, and, she's not sharing a room with anybody to say, hey, where have you been? And then, the computer thinks she's in engineering when her next duty shift is supposed to start. And we don't know how long this has been either. I mean,
That's true.
that could have been like 2 hours. Well, no, we do know because they said it was 14 hours at one point and then 4 at the end. So, okay.
It seemed like it took a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of... Yeah, it was definitely an odd choice for the episode, but, I mean,
that said, I did very much enjoy the Reno dynamic with Book and Tarka. I'm not entirely sure why... It wasn't really explained in a way that I understood why the licorice was required to conduct electricity between those parts of the communicator. Like, why did they not already do that?
Yeah, she said she stashed it, but she stashed it in pieces or something?
I guess.
I didn't understand that. She said something about how it conducted it, but it was...
Yeah.
You know, probably something that's not actually technobabble, but it was to me.
yeah, I just boiled it down to Star Trek technobabble that I usually don't understand anyways.
But we did get some backstory on Book.
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
Which I thought was interesting that we have I saw you put it in the notes as Dread Pirate Roberts Booker, which, yes.
That was the first thing I thought of.
Oh, yeah.
What? Okay, you're going to have to explain that reference to me here, because I don't get
Oh,
that.
okay. Have you seen The Princess
really?
Bride?
A long time ago. I have
Okay,
seen it several times, yes. Oh, okay,
All right,
yes.
so Wesley, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I got it. I got you now. I follow. So for those that don't know, okay, so yes, it's the same thing where Dread Pirate Roberts is a name that gets passed on and on. That's right. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. But I was glad to find out, like, kind of where that came from, because we have been asking since the beginning, how does this guy from Quajon have this Earth name that is related to nothing that he would have ever known? So...
Yeah, I liked that story a lot. It was a really touching story for a history on Book. Because it shows the loyalty that's there. And it does also... To me, it gives justification for him putting so much trust in Tarka because, you know, trust is such an important... But it could also, from another point of view, say, why does he trust Tarka? Because it shouldn't, because trust is hard to come by in them. So I kind of boiled it down to them having the mutual pain, right? And the mutual desire to get rid of the DMA, and that's why he put that extra trust, and it was kind of blinding him. So,
Yeah, I think so.
I agree.
I thought just as touching though was Reno's story. Like Reno's story about her,
yes.
the eyes was really, really beautiful, and it gave a lot of interesting backstory for her character. But it also was a wonderful way to have her connect to Book, and for Book to be like, you know what, you're just working me, and she says, yeah, but I mean that doesn't make me wrong, you know. Like I was expecting the one aspect about this plot line was that I was expecting Reno to her communicator with the licorice to be some type of way for her to get out and save the day and drop the shields with that or whatnot, or not the shields, but the whatever was blocking where she was, the force field. Thank you. She was going to use that and escape and then stop the ship. That's what I was expecting to happen. So I was very glad that didn't happen that way, and that she was using her ability to reach Book to well, in effect, to reach him and to like advance the plot that
Literally
way.
and figuratively, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree that I wasn't expecting it just to be a communicator, but it did work. It let her tell everybody back on Discovery what was happening so that we could get our cliffhanger ending. And yes, I think you said, Brandon, that everything was predictable with Tarka for this episode. And I think that's definitely true. I was not expecting to find out that what he was planning to do was actually going to kill everyone. That actually did surprise me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm intrigued by that because what is his end goal then? So like if it's going to kill everybody, he's not going to be able to get away probably. He's like, I will probably be able to get away. Discovery will probably be able to get away. Like he's literally just sacrificing himself to get rid of the 10C.
Is he, or is he hoping to be able to use that power source to get to the other universe?
Yeah.
And not caring about the collateral damage of
that's
everyone else.
that's interesting.
That was my thought.
That's very interesting. So it's not even a question. It just doesn't matter what damage he leaves behind. He just wants to get to the other universe. Oh, that's a good point.
That's how I view it. I mean, the way Reno said it was that he's just blind to it and doesn't realize, but that seems unlikely.
Yeah, because even she said, like, the computations won't make sense, but the look on his face will. That means he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the way I was reading that is, yes, he's hoping to be able to get out of here and go to the other university he's been trying to go to this whole time. And he's just using the whole time, he's just been using book as a way to get to that. He's never actually cared about saving the world or the universe from the 10C here. He's just trying to accomplish his goal.
I can't imagine that Oros would be that was the guy's name, right?
Yeah.
His friend? I can't imagine
I think so.
Oros would be happy with him.
Yeah. I'm bad with names. I can't even remember.
His friend that he's trying to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine he would not be happy with that.
I wonder if this universe that they're trying to get to is the Star Trek porn parody universe.
Oh, for crying out loud.
You could cut that out and put it at the end, too. Going back to Tarka's, one of the things that he said, though, I thought it was interesting that he said, I've only ever had 2 friends in my life, and you're one of them. You didn't like that. I thought that was interesting, because it's like, I wasn't sure how to feel about that, because it's like, is that a manipulation tool? But the guy's already behind the force field. So why didn't you like that, Chrissy? Tell me about that.
It was very predictable. As soon as he said, I've only had 2 friends in my life, I was like, please don't say Book is one of them. And it felt manipulative.
Okay.
And it didn't feel legitimate.
Yeah.
I don't know that this guy has really genuinely felt friendship for anyone except maybe Oros.
Because they haven't been together that long. So that's why I was kind of like, I'm not sure how to feel about that. I thought that was interesting.
He did tell Book his whole backstory, though, which, I mean, I doubt he tells everyone that.
Yeah. Because I said during that episode that I'm like, this is probably the first time that he's told anybody that story. That was my impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And you only tell somebody that if you're close to them, right?
Yeah, I think he probably does view Book as one of his only friends, but that said, he was still saying that to manipulate him.
One thing that I loved about the episode, though, was that we get more of Tarka's continued, like paranoia and going behind the scenes to create these defense mechanisms for himself. Like this personal force field that he had was completely unexpected and amazing.
I agree. That was very cool. And it seems like I don't understand why after he made modifications to Book's ship, why Book didn't immediately set up, some kind of passcode system, or maybe he did and Tarka just got around it. But it seems
he did, but Tarka had already made all the other modifications he wanted.
Oh, that's true. They could have been lying in wait. So,
that whole thing, yes, it was a little predictable, but I think we did need this all to happen to continue the story. Now, but the really cool part, the part that I loved, the part that I've seen a whole bunch of people on the internet loved, was figuring out how to talk to the 10C.
Yeah.
That was just great. I loved how they realized that they were sending the same things over. They realized that they realized it was numbers, which makes sense. Saying that, and the way I think it was Harai put it, where they don't think we're intelligent enough to grasp their language, which was good. Yeah.
Which is fair, because it's going to be something like we don't know anything about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We have no common frame of reference. Yeah. I thought it was interesting that they added some, standard technobabble, like where they said it was like Linkos, which is a real thing. That is the real. They talked about how that's something that Medi is using, and that's real.
Yep.
I haven't heard of Medi. I've heard of SETI. What's Medi?
It's basically the same thing.
Okay.
It works alongside SETI, I think. It's
yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember what the M stands for.
I don't either remember what it stands for. I just know that they are, if not the same as SETI, they are like integral with and part of. Yeah.
Well, if this is discovery related, then it's clearly the mushrooms of extraterrestrial intelligence.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's what it's got to be. Yeah, that's right. The only thing that I thought was weird about the whole communication thing, and this is really minor. Okay, this is really minor. Is that if they were given these chemicals and these chemicals were shaped like this, and then they were given the lights and the lights were shown to them like this, when Burnham put them together for her to have to turn the light aspect of it to make it line up, I'm like, it just seemed odd that it'd be like, why would they have it so that they are not lined up and in the same way, and that you would have to make that additional turning element for it to click? I know it's small, but it's like you're clearly trying to get them to understand. Like if somebody was just not able to grasp that concept, you wouldn't be able to solve it.
Yeah. I did, as I was watching that, think I would not have figured that out.
Well, do they have the same concept of up and down as we do?
That's an idea.
I don't know. I think mathematically, up and down are a concept in a 3D universe for anybody.
Right, but they might not have the same sort of... Discovery has artificial gravity, so they've got a specific this way is up, this way is down.
Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But to the 10C, they're not necessarily operating on that same plane.
That's right. But when they're giving the both of them, the fact that they're not presenting both of them the same to Discovery, right? So even if we're looking at the image upside down, both of them, that's fine, and that's okay, because an up-down concept, they've always asked the question, why do starships always right side up when they meet each other in space? It's because it's TV and it's going to look good. That's why. But yeah, they would technically be coming from anywhere, and so they would be coming at different directions all the time. But if you're presenting somebody with two pieces of information that you want them to overlap and put together, the fact that they're not aligned when you present them seems like a bizarre barrier as an extra step for them to overcome.
Yeah, okay, yes. I'm not sure. I think it's just because it looks cool to have them rearrange them.
Yes, I guess visually it looks good, yes.
I can play devil's advocate here. I don't know if it's devil's advocate, but think about something that you know by heart that you could do in your sleep. Whatever that is, podcast editing or, riding a bike, something like that. And there are elements of it that need to be done, but you don't necessarily think to articulate that as you're teaching somebody else. If that makes, like you might say, well, yeah, okay, so here's how you ride a bike. You push the pedals. Well, if you don't tell them to get on the bike first, which seems obvious to you.
Right.
Right.
So maybe that.
But the entire the original math concept is 4 is greater than 3, 5 is greater than 2. Yeah. You're down at the thing, and our response is equals 9, and their response is equals 9. Like, you're at basic, because you don't want confusion. Like, if we sent them 4 plus, whatever it was, 4 plus 5 equals 9, or 5 plus 4 equals 9, whatever it was they sent, and they came back with, like, 12 plus 13 equals 25, like, are you communicating? But no, their response was everything also equals 9. Right? So they understand. That way there's no confusion. So to have something that could be confused right off the bat was just a little bizarre. And it didn't hurt my enjoyment of the episode. It was just like, it boils down to what Thad said. It looked cool to have her turn it and have them aligned.
And it did.
Yeah.
It did look cool.
It reminds me of a game that my kids were playing on the iPad where there's this bizarre shape and you've got to keep turning it until you actually find out what the picture is. It's like this 3D shape thing. Yeah, it reminded me of that.
Isn't that the thing they tried to break Hugh with?
Yeah, the shape that the shape that didn't really exist.
Yes, that's funny.
So I thought it was cool how they sent the egg, or whatever that, whatever you want to call it. And when they walk in there, and it's an exact duplicate of the bridge, and it's just that actually also made me think of motion picture.
Okay,
that made me think of Mark of Gideon.
Yeah, that too. that too. I mean, the motion picture is just the atmosphere part, not the duplication part. But yeah.
Yeah, that was really neat because they said earlier in the episode how they had scanned the bridge millimeter by millimeter. Mm-hmm. Right, so it's an interesting concept that they put them there as something familiar. Right.
Mm-hmm. Put them at ease.
Yeah. I liked Burnham's solution where she's like, they've created the environment for us to breathe, so let's send that back to them because they know that that's us, right? And I like the idea of the happy, sad, and they're basically talking to each other in emojis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the emoji for DMA, we got the emoji for sad, we got the emoji for oxygen or whatever our atmosphere is.
And it's
Smell-moji.
And it's very convenient that they have the exact emotion of the terror of your world being destroyed. That's very convenient. That works out well.
Yeah.
It's a common one. Well, I mean, like, they had their world destroyed, right? So...
Right, that's what I'm saying. They had that exact emotion because they had been to the world where it was destroyed. So there's like that worked. That was very convenient that they could immediately jump to, that's what this makes us feel. I mean, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that worked out really well for them. Otherwise, there might have needed to be more intermediate communication steps if they didn't have that exact pheromone.
Greater than sad.
Yeah, so you think they're going to retaliate for the thing that Tarka did?
That's an interesting question because it's like, they've just sent them away, right? Mm-hmm. And they've sent them on their way, so are they going to leave it at that or are they going to retaliate? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think so. I think that we'll be able to communicate with them and be like, send the emoji for sorry.
Not our guy.
Send somehow something to represents Tarka's ship and like irritation.
Yeah, well, it's easy, right? Because now that we've got two emojis and we can talk in emojis, we just need to start sending GIFs and memes. Right? And, we just got to start sending that GIF of that little girl who's just, like, looking around and being like, I don't know. Right?
I didn't read the fact that they returned them as necessarily a negative.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I read it as, we need to refocus right now, and we can't take care of you in this particular environment.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I interpret it as they sent them back to cut off communication because they're like, traitors, you're hurting us and whatnot. That's how I interpret it.
No, I wasn't sure about that so much as... I don't know that... I saw it as relatively neutral. It's just like, they are focusing on something else at the moment, but they aren't... I didn't see it as, like, an immediate bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's... the cat got out. I gotta hang up. Bye.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, see, I totally interpret it as like a negative. We're cutting off communication. We're done.
Oh, maybe.
You're traitors. Yeah, that's
certainly possible.
Yeah.
So another thing that did happen through all this is we get more development in the Serena relationship here, or the
what?
Teru.
That's what we called it.
Teru is what we're called. Yeah. Yes, Teru.
Yeah.
In the Teru relationship here, I enjoyed the conversation he had with Burnham, where he's like, "Well, she seems to be very cold," and Burnham's like, "Yes, Vulcans tend to overcorrect in public to hide their emotions," which I loved.
Mm-hmm. That was good, and as soon as she said that, you're like, "Oh yeah." That's exactly what she's doing. As a fan, you see that. And it was that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And then she straight up says the person that she then straight up, when they have a conversation, she refers to him as the person that she cares about. It's like, aw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, the interesting thing about that was when I'm watching it, and her comment was, speculation is of little use in the moment. We require answers. Right? But it's like, that is exactly what every Starfleet staff meeting is speculation and taking our own personal experiences and training and bringing it to the table and interpreting it and whatnot, right? We even got that later in the episode, right? I didn't write it down, but like even Hira said something where it was just speculation, right? You know, so, and then Saru came to her later and was like, I don't think we have anything to fear. And that's speculation as well, right? Like every conversation here is all about speculation. So it was a bizarre, like I get that she was overcompensating, but it was just a bizarre line to say to overcompensate. And I guess I'll just boil it down to, you know, she's trying to show that she doesn't care when she does, but yeah.
She's just being Vulcan.
Right. But I would say that, yeah, that definitely does also explain a lot of Vulcan behavior throughout Star Trek, too. The whole, them overcompensating. Because there are definitely times when we've seen other Vulcans do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Every interaction between Tuvok and Neelix.
Yeah.
Because he loves Neelix.
Oh, he totally does. He wouldn't have danced if he didn't.
Yeah. I love Neelix. Everybody loves Neelix. Fandom's hatred of him is just an overcompensation. Star Trek fans are just Vulcans.
I mean, I
like
also
that.
love Neelix.
Yeah. Neelix is my favorite character on Voyager.
I wouldn't go that far. But I do love I do love Neelix. But yes, just Vulcans, yes, are, because it's something that we all know from that. It's established in TOS that Vulcans actually have emotions. They just don't show them. So yeah,
right. But they definitely don't lie, because they said that on Star Trek once, and Picard doesn't like kids.
I mean, we don't have any direct evidence that Picard does like kids. Oh, well, except
Certain
that
ones.
photo of him. Except that photo of him holding Riker and Troy's kid.
I submit to you disaster. I submit to you disaster.
Yeah.
Maybe he just likes certain children.
I would argue that in Disaster, Picard does not like those kids. He's just able to
command them.
Yes, basically. He's able to work with the kids. That doesn't mean he likes the kids.
I think by the end.
I think by the end, yes.
He's basically Alan Grant in that situation in Jurassic Park.
Oh
right?
my God,
Very
you're
much,
right.
Yes, he is definitely Alan Grant.
And he likes the kids by the end. So
Okay, seriously, yeah, Picard the archaeologist would have been Alan Grant.
Picard, yeah, oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
just digging in a slightly higher layer of soil. Rock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Picard and Alan Grant would have gotten along really well.
On that note.
All right. So other than the long tradition of Vulcans being sticks in the mud, do we have any other canon connections this week?
no, I actually, I got nothing off the top of my head here. Like I just other than it just gave me the impression of Star Trek: The Motion Picture and made me feel a lot of Star Trek: The Motion Picture. That's all I got. I'm sure there's some, we miss Justin for this part of the podcast because he's always in on that.
Justin was very good at this.
Justin was amazing at this. So maybe we should keep Justin on as a consultant. Justin, if you're listening, send us canon connections to talk about because we clearly can't do it without you.
And he's going to do it now too.
We've seen Saru scream like that before with his frustration.
Did we?
Earlier this season.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that scene.
Yeah.
That was a fun scene.
That was a fun scene. Yeah, I thought that made me laugh when they were laughing.
I liked how
laughing.
Grudge
It
was
cute.
mad.
Yes.
I loved that.
Yeah, that was
it's like, and they're talking about that felt good, and then it appears Grudge does not agree. Yes, that was good.
I needed that. Grudge did not need that.
Nope.
So
Yeah, well, cats in general are not fans of noises.
no.
No.
Yeah, that was really cute. Like it was them getting together. It was a touching moment between the two of them, and it's like, for Burnham to discuss that and her insecurities with Saru. I mean, these guys have been together for a long time. They've been through a lot together. They're friends, okay? Like their animosity, the animosity that they had only lasted 7 years, right? When they were together, and they worked together for 7 years, right? So,
Right.
yeah. the Vulcan hello and the Battle at the Pioneer Shore still don't feel like 7 years into a mission. They feel like 7 minutes into their first mission is what that feels like.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's just pilot so's. But yeah. Anywho, I liked it. I thought it was really cute. So I'm sure the internet hated it.
I don't know.
I mean, and we should also mention that it does certainly echo the scene from season 1 of Discovery with Cornwell and Laurel.
Yeah, I suppose. Just without
I didn't think of that.
The actual animosity. I hadn't thought of that either. Yeah.
There's no cat in that scene.
No, there isn't. I liked how she was very open with him and saying there's nobody else I'd rather be doing this with, and he agreed, and I absolutely adore seeing relationships between people that don't have to be romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Janeway and Chakotay after resolutions.
No.
Disagree.
No. No, but like Tuvok and Janeway.
Yes, there we go.
Yes. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this, but I ship Janeway and Neelix.
You know, I could see that.
That's an interesting facial expression there, Thad.
I do not ship Janeway and Neelix.
I don't either. Just kidding.
I'm not Team Janix.
Oh, good name.
Team Genix?
Or is it Niwe?
Janix? I could totally see Neelix being utterly in love with her, though.
I could see Neelix having a crush on Janeway for sure. I do not see Janeway reciprocating.
No.
There's the right way, there's the wrong way, and there's the Nell way.
Oh, God. Well, that's a porn. That's a porn parody title right there.
Yes. So, yeah, I guess final thoughts on this episode. This episode was really, really good. And I like this a lot. And with the cliffhanger that we are left on, I am fully expected to be disappointed next week, just like every other season finale of Star Trek Discovery so far. So I don't see anything different coming along the way from the last 3 season finales where I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. So I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully going in with no expectations or low expectations will mean I'll enjoy it more, right? But we'll see what happens next week.
I have mostly liked the season finales in Discovery.
Yeah.
So I am also I'm excited to see what happens next week, because this episode, as the penultimate episode, did its job and got me excited for Discovery again, which we've talked about this. I had been getting a little frustrated with Discovery over the last few weeks. So that's gone now. I'm excited. I want more. Give me more Discovery. Why do I have to wait another week? But yeah, I loved this episode. It was great. It might be my favorite episode of the season so far. We'll see.
I think mine is still the one where they go to the prison planet.
Okay, yeah, that was a good one too.
So, which I can't remember the name of it. The Examples, I think, actually, it was called.
Yes.
So, I really, really enjoyed that episode a lot. Yeah, but this one's like up there. This was good, even though I didn't. I think that the book and Tarka stuff is like, I don't know, pedantic and like expected. It was still good.
Yeah.
Right. So, this is a really, really, really good episode.
Yeah, I agree. Bring on the next one. I just hope we aren't... Every season I've been worried that they're going to start doing 90s Trek-style cliffhangers, and I'm hoping that that's not the case. I don't think they're going to. They haven't been doing that, but having grown up with it, I just expect it.
Yeah. I still think it's a terrible mistake that they're having this many episodes overlap.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
No question.
As much as I'm enjoying Picard as well, and as much as I enjoyed this week, I still think it's a terrible mistake that they're doubling up here.
Oh, but I agree that it's dumb that they're doubling. Although I saw a truly absurd opinion on the internet this week.
Oh boy.
Really?
Shocking, right? Someone was saying that it's ridiculous that they're overlapping because the existence of Discovery Season 4 negates the tension in Picard because they know they fixed the timeline or Discovery Season 4 wouldn't exist.
What?
That's interesting.
It was like, who is watching Picard and thinks they're not going to fix the timeline? I mean...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the obvious, but I can't fault their logic there.
I mean, they're technically correct, but... Even without Discovery happening now, they're not gonna... No one is thinking that Picard's gonna end with them stuck in this dystopian timeline.
So they think that... What? Say that again slowly for me to comprehend this here.
What they're saying is the fact that they're overlapping means that Discovery exists in Picard's future, so they know that Picard is going to resolve the problem is going to resolve the timeline because they have to get back to the regular timeline for Discovery to happen.
Oh my goodness. That's enough dumb for today. I think we're done this episode now.
Maybe they just finished reading Coda.
That's possible. Yeah, my eyes rolled very far into the back of my head when I saw that comment. So, Brandon, where can people find you when you're not chewing up black licorice?
You can find me here on the network with another show called Franchise Fatigue, which is all about movies, remakes, and sequels. And you can find me over on the Fandom Podcast Network with a show called Good Evening, an Alfred Hitchcock podcast. Chrissy, where can people find you when you're not yelling and pissing off your cat?
Yeah. What do you think, Gus? Oh, he says it's okay. Yeah. In addition to here on Infinite Diversity, you can find me on History with the Szilagys here on the UFP Network, and that's a twice-weekly history podcast that I do with my fellow historian partner, Jason. And I'm happy to chat about our shows in Federation Council Chambers on Facebook. And I'm on Twitter at the Goddess Livia, that's TheGoddessLivia, where I tweet about Star Trek history and leftist politics. Thad, where can people find you when you are not combining numbers and smells?
Well, I mean, I'm doing that most of the time. But otherwise, you can find me on my podcast that I do with my friend Carl about the James Bond films called License to Spiel. That's license spelled with a C, like the British do it. And other than that, the best place to find me is on Twitter, where I tweet a lot about a lot of things, mostly Star Trek. And that's at Tyrannicus, Tyranicus.
You know, with this communication of, like, lights and smells...
Oh, no.
How would Tetsu react if Burnham lit her farts on fire?
Jeez.
Oh, I feel like that's something that the scientist, the guy that's eating all the time, would be like his last ditch effort to try to figure it out.
Yeah, I feel like he'd do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dr. Harai.
Harai, yeah.
Which I think I think it because they pronounced it this week, and I think it's like Hirai, but I could be wrong.
I have no idea, and I apologize to anyone who is right now saying this is how it's supposed to be.
Well, feel free to drop us a comment if we got it wrong.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, phonetically spell it out for us.
I just know he was on the X-Files a couple times.
Possibly
he was.
He was.
Yeah. I don't know what episode off the top of my head, but I know that he was a few times. So, anywho, other shows at the network that we aren't lighting on fire. Join Amy Nelson and Mark White discussing all good things, covering all Trek all the time. Join Rhea Papagiorgio, Kevin Scharf, Amy Nelson, and Joe Keegan as they discuss all TNG all the time on board the Galaxy class. Mickey's Marvels is our Disney-focused podcast, hosted by Chris Tribuzio, Patrick Devlin, and Casey Pettitt. Always Hold On to Arrow is hosted by Lance Laster and Camonte Chillis, and they discuss all things that make Arrow Arrow. And last but not least, dive into some cryptozoology with Ken Tripp and Zach Moore as they take a fun and lighthearted look at the cultural phenomenon of Bigfoot on Sasquatch.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Infinite Diversity. Thank you to our executive producers, Ken Tripp, Tony Robinson, and Zach Moore. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music, and Tony Robinson for the awesome show art. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, and please subscribe. If you want to reach out, you can find the network on Twitter at UFP Earth, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all UFP podcasts in our Facebook group called the Federation Council Chambers, or you can email us at infinitediversity@ufp.earth. On the next episode, we'll be talking about the new episode of Picard, Penance. Until then, peace and long life.
I think that the final episode of Discovery Season 4 is going to be called That Hope Is You Part 3.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.
Now
So
smell
they're-
this.
They're just all in their
Yeah.
underwear and they're like rubbing peaceful on them.
Rubbing pheromones on each other.
Okay, rub angry on me. Rub some angry all over me. Oh, dear Lord.
Okay, well, when the inevitable porn parody comes out of that, we want some money from it, because there was the idea.
I don't think
Is
they
there a
needed us.
Discovery porn parody? Surely there is one already.
Oh, I'm sure. I just, that particular,
Right, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I think there was probably porn parodies of this stuff before the first episodes are out. I bet there's a Strange New World one right now. And
Oh,
I
I'm
never
sure.
want to see it. I don't want to know about it. Don't tell me. Anyway.
I think the only Star Trek porn parody I know about at all is that they had one where the Kelvin timeline Kirk goes transports over to the Prime timeline Kirk, and then all of the cast are, getting to know each other, as one would say.
That's funny. We went to Vegas one year, and like my wife and I went to Vegas in 2012, and my wife was walking around in a Dax outfit and whatnot, and there was this guy walking around who looked like Picard, and it was like this awesome Picard cosplay and whatnot, and like a lot of people were getting pictures with him and whatnot, and my wife's like, because she loves Next Generation and Picard's favorite, she's like, I want a picture of him. I found out like 3 or 4 years later that he was the star of the Next Generation porn parody. He was the Picard from it, and my wife
That's
was
amazing.
just mortified.
That's amazing, though.
That's really cool.
So that's why he
actually.
looks so
Yeah.
much like Picard, I guess, right? So
Good casting, I guess. I mean, was he there advertising the porn, or was he just there because
he was just
liked
there
Star
walking
Trek?
around in cosplay. He was just walking around, and like my wife and I didn't know why all these people were flocking around him and getting their pictures with him.
Like,
We're just like, oh, he
That
looks
might
like
not have
Picard.
been why anyway. It could have just been because
Yeah,
it was
like
good
I feel like there's
cosplay.
probably some people who did that, but I imagine
Yeah.
a lot of people just thought it was a good photo. Like, how many people, and even like people who had seen the porn, like how many of them would know? Oh, that's the guy from the porn, and not. Oh, that's just
Okay.
Okay, this part's going
We
at the end.
digress.
This part's going at the end.
Yes.
Okay,
I will put it at the end. If we're
I
going
don't
to put
know.
it at,
Maybe I should lead an
no,
episode.
you're fine. If we're going to put it at the end, I will say that it makes perfect sense that they wouldn't have recognized him if he was properly clothed in his Starfleet cosplay.
I guess he didn't have any scenes. I don't know. So I mentioned this in a fan group, and then somebody told me that he didn't have any scenes.
Well, I mean,
he was just there.
I haven't seen the Next Generation porn parody, but I imagine they start out clothed.
I can't say that I've not seen it either, and I don't plan to.
Okay,
Anyway.
I'm watching it right now.
So we're not going to watch that for the podcast.
No, I'm watching it right now. I'm bringing it up. I'm just kidding.
And that's the end of the show. Okay. I didn't mean to derail things. I'm sorry. That was just too good.
Damn it, Chrissy.
I'm trouble.
I wonder if this universe that they're trying to get to is the Star Trek porn parody universe.
Oh, for crying out loud.
You could cut that out and put it at the end, too.
Is there only one Star Trek porn parody universe? Wouldn't there be infinite porn parodies?
Myriad universe porn parodies.
Yeah, like every possible porn parody would have its own porn parody universe.
Yep.
For the
Why not?
multiverse theory. Yes, anyway. Thank you. Wait, where am I?
Asking us where we can be found.
Okay,
That's it,
focus.
thank you.
Shut off the Star Trek porn parody and focus. Okay.
I can't. I must have Star Trek porn parody playing at all times.
That's like me at my work, okay? I mean, like, I don't know why they have a problem with me watching the Star Trek porn parody while I'm at work.
What's the commentary track on that like?
Oh, man. Zach and I